Today on This Week in Iowa, a deal on the trade agreement that's been in limbo set to replace NAFTA. Elected officials and a farmer directly impacted react. Plus, history made in Des Moines' runoff election. Hear from Mayor Frank Cownie. And later, Cory Booker wants to unite the country. How he's doing that. Hi, everyone, and thanks for joining us on This Week in Iowa. I'm Sabrina Ahmed. Federal investigators are looking into possible human experiments at a state-run facility for disabled people. Just this week, the supervisor of the facility being investigated was placed on administrative leave. The state also starting its own investigation. This facility we're talking about is the Glenwood Resource Center, about 150 miles southwest of Des Moines, just outside of Omaha. The Department of Human Services oversees Glenwood. Monday, DHS Director Kelly Garcia placed Glenwood Superintendent Jerry Rea on administrative leave. This after the Department of Justice sent a letter to Governor Kim Reynolds in November to tell her they're investigating Glenwood. The DOJ investigation will focus on the following: harmful and uncontrolled human experiments, inadequate care, harmful restraint practices, and incidents causing needless physical injury. Governor Kim Reynolds says her administration took quick action after getting this letter.
Upon receiving the letter from the DOJ, Director Garcia has done a phenomenal job. She sent a team down to do a fact-finding mission to start to gather information.
Glenwood is one of two state-run facilities that serves Iowans with intellectual disabilities. It services 52 counties. Those are the ones highlighted right here on your screen. The other counties are serviced by a facility in Woodward. Now, this isn't the first time Glenwood has been investigated. In 2017, former employees were found guilty of mistreating residents. Governor Kim Reynolds says her administration is cooperating with the Department of Justice, and again, they have their own investigation as well. Well, we finally have a tentative agreement on the United States-Mexico-Canada trade agreement. Labor leaders and the White House are claiming victory. The agreement is a little different than what was passed by Republicans. The sticking points Democrats have been ironing out don't really have a lot to do with ag, but of course the whole deal has to pass at once. Democratic lawmakers added stronger monitoring standards for labor and environmental rules and removed patent protections for some prescription drugs. Iowa's congressional delegation have responded to the House Democrats' agreement for the USMCA. Senator Chuck Grassley making note of its importance to Iowa farmers.
It's good from the standpoint that for 25 years it was difficult to get much dairy product into Canada. Now it'll be a big boon for agriculture and dairy products into Canada. Getting our high-quality wheat into Canada is another good benefit of it.
Senator Ernst in a statement saying the deal was negotiated with, quote, our nation's farmers and workers in mind, knowing the USMCA will provide an economic boon and certainty for folks back home. Congresswoman Cindy Axne saying in a statement this agreement would provide certainty for farmers and producers by ending the threat of back-and-forth retaliatory tariffs that this administration has pursued. Lawmakers plan to hold a full vote on the deal next week and will likely be taken up in the Senate early next year. Coming up next, we hear from farmers who are directly impacted by this deal. So stick with us, everyone.
She blames herself for her baby's death.
Ever since I lost my daughter, I put myself in erratic situations.
But is her high-risk behavior?
You actually destroyed your apartment, right?
I smashed all the dishes, I ripped up the carpet, burned holes. It's uncontrollable.
Driving her husband away?
I have been with another woman. Well, other woman or other women? Woman.
If you're not going to be honest, then this is just a waste of time.
All new Dr. Phil.
Monday at 4 on Local 5.
Crossroads Shooting Sports is Central Iowa's premier indoor shooting range. Our state-of-the-art retail shop is an authorized dealer that has everything you need for concealed carry, home defense, and personal protection with over 200 guns in stock. Crossroads Shooting Sports, where responsibility and skill meet.
The Dish voice remote just got even more powerful. Why'd we put so much technology in there?
You don't think I've watched a lot of football? You want to put a little wager on it? Bet.
So you can settle that bet without ever taking your eyes off the game.
How many D1 football teams are there?
What you do with that power?
Oh, it's gotta hurt.
Well, that is totally up to you.
Don't look so sad, man. Come on, we're having fun.
New Dish voice remote with the Google Assistant. Dish, tuned into you.
At 28, I'd struggled with opiate and meth addiction for 12 years. I lost everything, and I still thought I was in control. And that's when a friend told me about Elite Rehab Placement. They found me a program that fit my needs. It was a small enough program that I could get that one-on-one attention, and they gave me the tools I needed to get sober.
Crossroads Shooting Sports is Central Iowa's premier indoor shooting range. We feature a state-of-the-art retail shop, including full-service conference and training facilities. Our certified staff takes your safety, security, and education seriously. Crossroads Shooting Sports, where responsibility and skill meet.
From the capital city, you're watching This Week in Iowa with Sabrina Ahmed, getting to the heart of what's happening in Iowa politics.
Everyone, we are joined now by Tim Bardole, who is the president of the Iowa Soybean Association. Tim, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You're a busy man. You are traveling all over the country and the world selling soybeans, so I appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, well, it's somebody's got to do it, I guess, so it's my turn.
Okay, well, talk to me about the USMCA deal that is being made. What was your reaction to the news this week?
Very encouraged. It's been a tough year. 2019 has been rough, not only with trade agreements and delays, but with planting delays, harvest delays, and everything else. So it's very good news. I guess farmers are to the point right now, and until you see something signed, you don't fully believe it, but it does sound like it's going to go through.
For viewers at home who are not super familiar with the USMCA, can you talk to me about the difference between NAFTA and the USMCA and why this is so good for farmers?
Yeah, there's not huge differences from NAFTA as far as soybeans are concerned. Some of the things that were changed is just updating because of today's technology, whether it be the soybeans, the different genetics and stuff that have to go through approval. The biggest probably benefit for all of agriculture is probably in the dairy industry.
Okay.
Opening up
right.
dairy to Canada. But the biggest thing is it maintains the tariff-free market for Iowa soybeans and U.S. soybeans. Mexico currently is our #2 importer of U.S. soybeans, and you know it just shows how important our neighbors are.
Right, we absolutely couldn't afford to lose that market after the China market.
We can't afford to lose any market.
Okay, so you mentioned this, you kind of put a little bit of color to this. There's just been so much going wrong with ag in the past year, but when I talk to farmers, we have them on our show on a regular basis, everyone seems generally optimistic.
You have to be. You know, when you talk about a farmer, you're talking about somebody that in the spring borrows a whole bunch of money and pretty much plants it in the ground and has to wait until fall to know if you're going to recoup what you've spent on the crop, or lose money, or hopefully make money. So if you're not optimistic, it's kind of tough to be a farmer.
So what's your message to the Iowa delegation and to all of Congress, knowing that you've remained optimistic, you've remained positive, looking forward, hoping for the best? What's your message to our congressional leaders?
USMCA has to get passed. As far as agriculture goes, in the last 21 months, there has been 61% of our trade being negotiated. So the United States sells something over $140 billion worth of ag products around the world. And of that number, 61% has been renegotiated or currently in negotiations, like with China. So that just shows you how, as a farmer, you know, we've been very uneasy.
Right.
Because, you know, those are huge numbers. And for soybeans, it's a lot higher than that because of China
right.
and Mexico, our top two importers of U.S. soybeans.
Well, we'll continue to follow the movement. We really appreciate you being here. And he's going to Pakistan next month, so travel safe and yeah, Godspeed. We're going to take a short break, everyone. But coming up next, history was made when he won the runoff election. But how does Mayor Frank Cownie make sure he is representing those who didn't vote for him? We ask him next.
And we're going to do it with the help.
No matter what you do, you're always raising the bar. Delaro fungicide for corn and soybeans can help you get the edge you're looking for. Delaro has a broader spectrum of disease control and best-in-class dual-mode of action residual. Plus, it improves plant health, so your top-performing hybrids and varieties will have the protection they need to help you achieve your personal best yields. Delaro fungicide from Bayer. Keep raising the bar.
Every morning, men, women, and children wake up hungry, with no idea where their next meal will come from. Their stomach's empty, they go to bed in their car or on a friend's couch if they're lucky. At Hope Ministries, we feed and shelter hundreds of Iowans every day. We provide life recovery programs, counseling, and job readiness training. These men, women, and children wake up with hope instead of desperation. They go to sleep with full stomachs and full hearts, and you can help. Please visit hopeiowa.org and donate today.
Instead of going to school every morning, what if school could come to you? Because learning happens anywhere and everywhere. K-12 powered schools provide a tuition-free, full-time, online public school education taught by state-licensed teachers.
It's public school at home.
K-12's curriculum is designed to engage students, to challenge them. So visit K12.com today. Tuition-free in Iowa.
Why do prescription drugs cost more in the U.S. than in Canada? How come it's against the law for Medicare to negotiate for lower prices? Why do drug companies make billions of dollars getting people hooked on opioids? The big pharmaceutical companies, they think they own Washington. Well, they don't own me. I'm Amy Klobuchar. As your president, I'll hold drug companies accountable and bring down the cost of prescription drugs. That's why I approve this message.
You're watching This Week in Iowa, Sunday morning talk focused on the political scene in Iowa.
Welcome back, everyone. We are joined now by Mayor Frank Cownie, who recently won in the runoff election. Congratulations on the win.
Well, thank you very much.
So, to get started, talk to me about what was going through your head the day of that election, because you know, you had a close primary, as you mentioned, but then you really could have gone either way.
Sure, it could have. We had a very confident team. We felt like we had reached out and touched a lot of people, but obviously there's, given the primary, there's a lot of people that voted the other way. And so we spent a lot of time trying to reach all parts of the city, and but it was still very close. And but it is the ballots were counted, we had a lead the whole night, and it just stayed almost right where it was going through. So it was a really great message from the citizens, and our team was very happy, and it was a tough race.
What do you think it says to you as a mayor, and what the job that you've done, that you were reelected even by a thin margin?
Well, I think that the message that we all have by the majority is that the city has really made a lot of great strides over the last 16 years, and we're headed in the right direction. We have plans that we've shared with citizens all over the city, and we've gone out. Even this last Tuesday, we had a talk of the city tour. We did it at the downtown library and rolled out those plans that we're going to implement this coming year and moving forward. Everything from streets to sewers to flood protection to sidewalks and all the plans that we have. And obviously what we want to do is seek more citizen input. That's how we made these plans. But obviously, given the election, there's some that still feel that they didn't have a voice in it. So we want to make sure that we get the message out, show them how to communicate with the city, either on Facebook, on our website. Hopefully, you know, we'll get some help from the media also, because we have lots of these meetings every year to get citizen input, because that's, when I first ran, it was all about neighborhoods and citizens and serving all the people, not just some of the people, because we're all better off working together, playing together, dreaming together, and making this a city where people want to live, where they want to work, where they want to have a career, raise their family, and hope their kids want to stay here too.
And I think a lot of it has to do with some of these people whose homes were flooded and they felt as though the city forgot about them, or other areas where, you know, where maybe crime is increasing and they feel like the city's forgetting about them. So how do you, these are people who can't attend city meetings because at night that's when they're working.
Yeah.
So how do you reach out to them, some of those people who really feel disenfranchised?
Well, to find more ways for them to communicate with us. I mean, my office, we'll take calls morning, afternoon, evening. So if they're working at night, give us a call during the day. We'll try to answer questions or get back to citizens in terms of what's going on in the neighborhoods. An awful lot of the work that we've been doing is in response to neighbors giving us input on what's going on in the neighborhood. What about police? What about fire? What about, you know, and it's, as I think about our fire and our rescue, rescue has become a bigger part than fire. Right. There's less fires, but we're getting more EMS calls all the time. And because we're sort of the healthcare system out there to serve all the citizens, they know they can dial 911 and we're going to come. And so we need people to understand how it works and how to communicate with us. And I think we need to do a better job with that outreach and let people know that we're here to serve everybody, not just some of the people.
So you've been mayor for 16 years.
Yeah.
Now you will serve another term. So what do you think the future holds for you?
Well, I've felt my work is with the city. I mean, in terms of future, I don't have any aspirations to go to Washington or up on the Hill. I felt like I was born in Des Moines. I was raised in Des Moines. My family's been in Des Moines. My dad always said, you've got to get back to your city. You got to be part of it. And that's sort of what has driven me. And I think that we've made such huge strides to move Des Moines forward. Our population's increased, the employment has increased. Des Moines has become one of the greatest places for millennials to have a career, to raise a family, one of the most affordable places to live in the United States. You know, we'll have some discussion about property taxes and that sort of thing, but all in, this region is a really affordable place for Iowans. I want to keep moving forward. We have plans. We've laid them out. We made promises. I'm going to deliver on those promises.
Mayor Cownie, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll take a short break. We'll be right back.
The Brass Armadillo off I-8035 between the 14th Street and 2nd Avenue exits with hundreds of dealers and millions of antiques is the perfect place for all of your holiday shopping needs. The friendly staff will help you find everything on your holiday shopping list. Can't decide? Pick up Brass Armadillo gift cards. Happy holidays from the Brass Armadillo. Open from 9 to 9 every day off I-8035 between the 14th Street and 2nd Avenue exits.
We got everybody talking about the Brass Armadillo.
Finally enjoying your retirement, but there are so many things to consider. How long will your income last? What will you do about long-term care? How do you set up your legacy to last for generations? Now is the perfect time to attend our Boost Your Retirement class. This class will help you take your retirement plan to the next level and set you up for success. Spots for this class are limited. Call today or sign up online at merkelclass.com.
Not in Kansas anymore.
Are you a good witch or a bad witch?
Do you represent the Lollipop Guild?
You have no power here.
Now be gone before someone drops a house on you.
Follow the yellow brick road.
I don't care. Because. I don't care.
I'll get him for this. And his little dog, too.
There is no place like home.
And for great TV, there's no place like Cozy TV.
There are things you no longer need, but more money in your pocket.
Your old
jewelry could get you cash today. Bring it to Herman's Fine Jewelry to find out how much your treasures are worth. Things that are out of style, things you don't wear, or things you don't know what to do with means money for you. Don't let your treasures sit in a drawer. Bring them to Herman's in Clock Tower Square and get paid today.
Sell things you no longer need, put more money in your pocket. Herman's Fine Jewelry.
You're watching This Week in Iowa, Sunday morning talk focused on the political scene in Iowa.
Welcome back. At the time of this taping, Senator Cory Booker still hadn't qualified for the next debate, but his crowds in Iowa are growing and his fundraising numbers are up. So we sat down to chat about the campaign, starting with his decision to spend his Thanksgiving in Iowa serving a meal to the homeless and door knocking in a neighborhood filled with people who are not likely to caucus. Take a listen.
I'm running because I want to have people that aren't often included in the equation in the center of our thoughts in many ways. So for me to run a campaign that's not loyal to that ideal is just problematic. So I am who I am. And a lot of people say to me, Cory, you talk about love and grace. This is not going to beat Donald Trump. And I sort of laugh and I go, actually, it's the only thing that will. You can't fight darkness with darkness or hate with hate. In fact, there's an Oscar-nominated movie about me called Street Fight, and if people watch that, they get it instantly. That strength comes from the kind of folks that can pull together big coalitions to beat bullies and demagogues and the like. And so I just want this campaign, I want our country to be about those best of our ideals, about seeing the person that's often marginalized in our society, about elevating their dignity, and understanding that we need each other. And so that was a beautiful day for me. It's one of my favorite days on the campaign, frankly, because it wasn't about the sort of frontline vote for me, here's what my policy plans are. It was about people being there for people. And what I witnessed of Iowans, as a guy whose grandma's born and raised in Des Moines, is what I know about this state. There's a goodness and the decency. And I'm telling you, our country needs a revival of those ideals and virtues. It's not only what's going to excite and energize people so we have the kind of turnouts we need to beat Donald Trump and reject him, but ultimately to get this country to accomplish health care, gun safety legislation, you name it. We have to create bigger American coalitions, not hate each other, but recognize we need each other.
But in order to continue your message, it does require that you continue to get donors,
yes,
and continue to get dollars,
yes,
and continue to poll.
Yes.
That, unfortunately, is just a fact of running for president.
Yes.
Those are requirements. So how are you ensuring that you will make it to the next debate stage?
So since the last debate, we've seen this surge in contribution, getting a lot of contributions here from Iowa. In fact, we're the top candidate for women contributing to my campaign, which is interesting as one of the men that's running. But we are seeing the kind of momentum we need, and we're hoping that people here in Iowa, when they get that caller ID says they're coming in, it might be a pollster, that they answer the phone, that they choose us to keep us on that debate stage. Because Iowa should not have their choices made for them by an artificial debate stage with barriers that never existed before, but they should let you all have the voice here about what happens ultimately in the caucuses. And so I feel very strongly right now that we are doing what past winning campaigns have done in this state. We're polling around where Bill Clinton was, Jimmy Carter was, John Kerry was. We are seeing the kind of endorsements from people that Iowans elect, like mayors and others. So for us right now, it is staying at it, keep pushing, keep fighting. Our fundraising continues to go up, and the energy here we feel in this campaign continues to go up, and I'm very hopeful.
Talk about hope and change.
Yes.
Your slogan is Rise Together.
Yeah.
But make America great again, really, or keep America great.
Yes.
It resonates with people.
Yeah, look, but at the end of the day, there's been great slogans that haven't won because they had lesser candidates. I'm one of these weird people in this race because I'm from New Jersey. I've known Donald Trump. I've known his family. Mm-hmm. I still remember that night hurting. I was worried about taking health care away. The majority of Americans didn't want to lose their health care or the Affordable Care Act. I remember worrying about the promises he made about banning people from this country based upon their religion. Going to bed that night, curling up, worried. And then the next morning, millions of women came out and said, this is not a time to curl up, to shut up, to give up. It's a time to rise up, to stand up, to speak up. And what I've seen now since then is the battle to activism to save health care, pre-existing conditions, all that. We won that because of activism. I've seen this in the 2018 elections. Record change. The most diverse Congress now we've ever had. More women elected than ever before. All is happening because of the themes that we're driving in this campaign. When we have more activism, when people remember that democracy is not a spectator sport. Democracy is a verb. You got to get out there, get engaged. This is how we make change. I think Donald Trump won in many states like Wisconsin where he won. He got less votes than Mitt Romney did. As King said, it's not the vitriolic words and violent actions of bad people, it's the appalling silence and inaction of good people. I'm running because we need to continue this, not just to get rid of Donald Trump. That's the floor. It's not the ceiling. It gets us out of a valley. I want to rise to the mountaintop. And so my message constantly is, if you elect me president, I'm warning you. I'm going to ask for more from you than any president's asked for you in your lifetime. Because I'm not running to be savior. I'm not going to solve all the problems. We are.
And of course, we'll keep you posted on what happens with the book campaign, and we'll be right back.
Crossroads Shooting Sports is Central Iowa's premier indoor shooting range. Our state-of-the-art retail shop is an authorized dealer that has everything you need for concealed carry, home defense, and personal protection with over 200 guns in stock. Crossroads Shooting Sports, where responsibility and skill meet.
The Culligan high-efficiency water softener is the world's best. It's backed by the industry's strongest warranty and serviced by the world's largest local dealer network. Click or call Culligan Water and start saving today.
For Local 5, most accurate isn't just a phrase, it's everything.
The rain comes in late Friday night now, after midnight, and into Saturday morning.
Every commute.
Frost is possible early on today, so may need that scraper handy.
Every school day.
That's 4 degrees, feeling like sub-zero temperatures when you factor in the light breeze.
Every forecast, accurate, so you can plan your day.
20 to 25 mile per hour, sustained winds gusting as high as 30.
Local 5 weather. We are Iowa's most accurate forecast.
On the next Tamron Hall, you'll meet 3 remarkable children who we promise you will believe are real-life superheroes.
Every transgender kid deserves the support I get, and that's why I'm here.
It's all part of Marvel's Hero Project. They'll tell us about the new show on Disney Plus and how they're making an incredible difference. Plus, left in a dumpster as a baby, now he's the owner of a multi-million-dollar company. A day of stories that will inspire on the next Tamron Hall.
Monday at 2 on Local 5.
They tell you your kid has cancer. Would you rather take care of your daughter or go to work?
What's your biggest fear?
Losing my house.
Can the doctors help?
All new. Monday at 3 on Local 5.
Crossroads Shooting Sports is Central Iowa's premier indoor shooting range. We feature a state-of-the-art retail shop, including full-service conference and training facilities. Our certified staff takes your safety, security, and education seriously. Crossroads Shooting Sports, where responsibility and skill meet.
We have some exciting news to share for Iowa and our first in the nation status. Iowa will be host to the CNN Democratic presidential debate on January 14th, less than 1 month from the Iowa caucus. That'll be held on Drake University's campus. Now, the DNC has not outlined yet the criteria to qualify for the debate. That, of course, will come later. But we'll keep you posted, and we will have extensive coverage here on This Week in Iowa. Now, don't forget, if you cannot tune in on Sunday mornings to watch our program, then you can download our podcast on Spotify or wherever you find your podcasts. Thank you so much for joining us here on This Week in Iowa, and we hope to see you again next Sunday.